Last night on MasterChef Australia, a first-class performance for Neil Perry.
Take Danielle with her snapper course.
But not from Craig and Rachel.
No, pull it off.
Or Michael and Shannon.
For Michael, this situation is especially hard to take. Thomas Keller, he's one of his food idols.
Tonight,
those black aprons can only mean one thing, and that's that someone is going home.
and if that wasn't enough pressure...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your OMG moment.
Oh my God, Heston Blumenthal.
No way on earth.
Wow.
He is the master of perfection.
We have 5 pages of complicated recipe to read.
And it will push them to breaking point.
I honestly don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm going to finish this with seconds.
But who will pay the ultimate price?
Well, I suppose you asked for something personal. You can't get more personal than that.
Yesterday we battled it out in the Qantas First Class Challenge. Rachel, Craig, Shannon and Michael are in the bottom 4, and today they're facing a pressure test to determine their MasterChef future.
I'm just going to go in there and do what I do every other time. Not really think about the fact it's an elimination. Just do it, just cook. MasterChef means so much to me because I love cooking, but I sort of feel in some ways slightly guilty even being here. I've got this incredible job as a professional classical musician, but I want to actually continue my life being able to combine that with my other passion, which is food. Somehow incorporate the love of food and producing food for people with the love of performing. I mean, it should always be together.
I was in that elimination last week.
I was completely out of control.
Stop, take a deep breath.
And I was terrified of the way that I actually reacted to the stress. I just want to learn and immerse myself in everything this competition can give me. I want to meet people and I want to learn to cook things I never knew I could cook, and that's what I'm doing here, and I want to continue doing that.
I would be pretty disappointed if my MasterChef journey finished today, because I haven't done what I set out to do. I want to grow more as a cook and as a person. I don't think you really know how much you can learn until you put yourself under a bit of pressure and you really push yourself. Coming on MasterChef has meant that I've been able to discover a whole new side of myself. Most of my life, I have made sure that everyone else's dreams happen, and today I have to start taking big steps to make sure my dream will happen.
This week's a pretty special week for me. It's the 7th anniversary of my dad passing away. I definitely wouldn't say I've taken over as a father figure, but I've definitely matured into more of an adult because of it. Every year that passes, I reflect on what I've done in the last year, and MasterChef is the biggest step I've made for my future, and I think Dad would be pretty proud. I'm looking at today positively, and it's my second chance to cook, and if I do well today, I'm back on an even peg with everyone else.
They walk through the door, all in black. You can't help but feel a bit worried about what the outcome of today is going to be.
Welcome back to the MasterChef kitchen. Those black aprons can only mean one thing, and that's that someone is going home today.
The rules of the pressure test are simple. You all have to create the same dish using the same ingredients in the same time limit. To survive what you're about to face, you've just got to do one thing, and that's cook a world-class dish. And that's because the dish that you'll be cooking has been set by a world-class chef. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your OMG moment. Just like you, our guest today was a keen amateur cook. An amateur cook who opened his restaurant with just 2 weeks' experience in a professional kitchen.
You're kind of like, that sounds familiar. That sounds really familiar.
From that slightly wobbly beginning, he's gone on to become one of the great chefs of the world.
Everyone's kind of like looking around like in anticipation, like, no way on earth.
In 2004, he won 3 Michelin stars.
I have a really strong feeling that my favourite chef is going to be walking through those doors any minute.
Oh my God.
Every day, his restaurant now gets 30,000 phone calls.
It starts dawning on us, there's only one person this could possibly be.
He would be the hero of an awful lot of working chefs. The irrepressible, the always questioning, the slightly quirky, and the rather brilliant chef and owner of the Fat Duck restaurant outside London, Heston Blumenthal.
Oh my God, Heston Blumenthal. This is my food idol, my food god. I can't believe it.
No matter how complex my cooking is, I believe food should be fun, because eating is the only thing we do that involves all of the senses. This means it has the potential to be incredibly emotional, so I try and bring the multi-sensory element into my cooking, bring that into the menu, and food has the ability to generate so much emotion. Good, good.
Well, I think they're excited.
Hi, guys.
Heston, welcome. I think you can tell by the reaction you got that it's a bit like Madonna walking through those doors.
Take that as a compliment.
Michael, from Thomas Keller, one hero, to Heston, another. How are you feeling?
I don't know what I've done to deserve this.
We've never had a pressure test where the guys up there, we willingly face elimination.
It's like you're trying to encourage us to come to an elimination. This is best elimination ever.
Never heard that before.
He's like if Madonna and Michael Jackson had a love child. And the love child just happened to love cooking a lot. I would throw myself into the coals to be in this elimination challenge. Sucked into everyone upstairs who cooked a good dish.
I think it's a mark of how excited everyone is to see what you're going to put up for these guys to cook.
Obviously, we're going to cook one of his dishes, and I can now see why everyone else upstairs is going to be jealous of us, and so they should be. I wouldn't swap this for anything.
You ready to find out what you're cooking today?
Yes.
Please.
Here it comes.
Knowing Heston's food, it could be anything. It could be an ice cream that's got snails in it. It could be, you know, the most bizarre combination of things you could think of and then taste like something totally different. Who knows?
What have you done?
What is your fiendish plan, Blumenthal?
Heston, can you do the honours and show us what dish you've brought in for the guys to cook today?
With pleasure.
I am actually really worried. I've never cooked any of Heston's recipes before, so might be a little bit out of my depth.
So, guys, the dish you're cooking today is...
That's cool!
So, guys, the dish you're cooking today is...
I've seen enough of Heston's TV programs to know that whatever we're doing today, it's not going to be normal.
A burger. Burger and fries.
Is it?
Just cooking a hamburger? No way. What little tricks does Heston have up his sleeve that they have to pull off today?
It's never simple. Nothing Heston does is simple. It looks like a burger and chips, but I'm actually waiting for the lid to explode off the burger or, you know, a mouse or something to walk out, a sea creature to walk out of the chips.
But there's got to be a but. When Heston lifts that cloche up and reveals hamburger and fries, I think, great, we're doing dessert.
It is burger and fries. It's not a burger disguised as a souffle. It's not chips disguised as ice cream. It is burger and fries.
That's cool! It's amazing and fun, and it just makes you laugh. The milkshake's bubbling, and it kind of looks like a witch's cauldron.
Knowing the effort and the thought processes that Heston goes through to create a dish, it's going to be pretty extraordinary.
Should we taste? Georgie, you want to do the honours? See all the layers in there. You see the patty's quite loose. It's a blend of meats. They're going to be chopped and minced in specific ways.
Listening to what Heston has to say, I realised this is not just a regular burger and chips, it's a Heston scientific burger.
You have to keep the meat cold. You have to work super fast. The salt is the binding agent. So when you start cooking, my advice to you would be do not do anything before you started to make your patty. You need to get the salt on that meat and get it minced. That's the way you should eat a burger. Look.
I take one big bite, getting everything in all at once, and it's just amazing. It's juicy, you can taste everything. The cheese tastes great. The ketchup, I don't know what he's mixed in with it, but it's just yum.
The bun, it's a very light brioche with a particular glaze. You'll be making the bun and the glaze. The bun is soft. The brioche is really soft. So you can squash it to fit in your mouth. The tomato ketchup, there is some commercial ketchup, but we're going to boost the fifth taste, something called umami. You've got your sweet and salt and sour and bitter, and the fifth taste, umami, which the Japanese have been going crazy for the last 100 years. So you'll make a special tomato mix to push the umami, to give it that really big, meaty mouthfeel. You're going to be making cheese.
Make our own cheese? Like, how long is this challenge go?
So you need to make the bun, the patty, the cheese, and the tomato ketchup. Now for the fries, it's triple cooked chips. You can see all these cracks in the potato. This is where your crust is going to be formed. This is the part of the chip that's going to give you that really nice crust.
Like breaking glass.
Exactly, should be a glass-like crust.
It'd be rude not to finish it, wouldn't it?
It would be a crime. The burger police would be arresting you. So once you've managed to make your burger and your fries, you need to do a drink. Okay, so if you taste it and pass it around, what we've got here is fizzy milkshake. Didn't have much time, so I've dropped some dry ice in a muslin cloth into the milkshake, and as you can see, it's bubbling.
Oh.
But I don't want you to do this. You can't do this.
Oh, OK.
You have to come up with something of your own. Anything that you can think of. I'd like to see that you put something of yourselves in there. So that piece of nostalgia, maybe there's a memory you've got. But just let your imagination go wild. How does that sound?
Easy.
Exciting.
Cooking this dish makes you push yourself in the kitchen. I mean, these guys are doing it under a time limit. it's going to be really tough.
For this challenge, you've got 3 hours and 15 minutes. Gosh, seems like a lot of time to reproduce that beautiful burger and fries. Are you up for it?
Yes. Yes.
Your time starts now.
First thing we need to do is dice up 3 different types of beef, get it nice and small, and get it through that mincer.
Well, it's not even going to go through the big one.
It's really hard putting my meat through the mixer.
God's sakes.
I think maybe there's too much fat in it. It just keeps on clogging up the mixer.
Not happy.
It's kind of clogged up. I presume it's me and not the machine. I put it in and it's just not going anywhere. It's not coming out the little holes. I've got no little meaty worms. It's not working. I haven't even started, I'm already stuffed. Oh, fudge.
The mince is working, I'm getting it all through, and it's all pretty much happy days.
So he's cutting his smaller, yeah? Shannon's just tried to put them straight in, and so is Craig, and it's blocked.
Michael started mincing their meat, just like Heston had told them to do. Whereas Rachel, she started on the dough for a bun, which is in a bit of contradiction to what Heston had said.
I heard Heston say that the meat had to be really cold before it went through the mincer. So I put my meat in the fridge and I decided to start with my bread.
Rach?
Yeah?
Didn't Heston tell you to start with the meat because it needs to salt for as long as possible?
Yeah, but it needs to be cold. He said that if it's not cold, it won't go through the mincer properly.
Cool.
I've developed a really close friendship with Rachel, and I'm going to help her in whatever way I can. But it's a delicate balance. She's the one that's got to do the challenge. She's the one that's got to wear the consequences.
Rach, just so you know, everybody else is working on their meat.
I know, but he told me to make sure it was cold.
OK.
She's quite adamant that she's doing the right thing, so I have to leave her to it.
You started the dough first.
I heard you say that the meat should be very cold to go through the mincer properly.
Right, OK.
Is that wrong?
Without putting too much pressure on you, you just have to work as quickly as you can with this dough.
Yep.
And start with the meat.
Yes.
You just need enough time to let it set so you can then carve it without it falling apart.
I don't want to start wrong.
So now I'm really... why am I doing the bread and not the mince? So I think, right, well, I'll just have to start doing both of them at the same time.
Rach, watch the butter.
I need to brown 45 grams of butter to add to my brioche. Brown, it's black mud, so I think we'll start again. This is an absolute debacle.
Am I doing something wrong?
Today, we're in a Heston Blumenthal pressure test. We have to reproduce in 3 1/4 hours a burger, fries, and one other element.
Craig, you got to cut that meat smaller, babe.
We have 5 pages of complicated Heston Blumenthal recipe to read. There's so much information there.
Well, I've got it working now. I think I was putting too much in. I've put one piece at a time.
There are 4 different kinds of meat in this one meat patty. They have to be diced and minced a particular way.
It's clogged twice. I haven't.
Well, you've probably got the blade the wrong way around. It's the other way around.
OK.
And they have to be salted just right so that they bind. But Heston's not giving them the quantity of salt that they're going to need. They have to work that out for themselves.
I'm going really well. I've done my 2 grinds on my 3 cuts of beef. I've chopped up my 4th one and combined it. Now I'm just adding my salt.
Mikey, do you know the salt ratio?
Do you?
2% standard for sausages.
Yes.
And then you want to check your seasoning.
Yeah, right.
It's a really huge responsibility giving advice in a pressure test.
It's meaty and salty.
Wasn't too salty though.
Some of the salt will come out when it cooks or not.
Yeah.
I think it's all right.
If Michael takes on the 2% ratio and it's incorrect, I could be responsible for him going home.
Because Rachel has made the critical mistake of going to the bread rather than the meat, she's now feeling a bit flustered.
Rachel, have you kept the chuck steak separate?
I've put all 4 varieties of meat together and I was meant to keep the chuck steak separate and that only gets minced once, whereas the other 3 get minced 3 times.
Oh. I can't remember which one's which.
And now I can't work out which one is Wagyu and which one is the brisket and...
Oh, I don't know what I've done.
I've just stuffed this up.
What have you done? What's going on? You're looking a flap.
I can't remember what my meat was called, and I thought that this was the chuck.
Yeah.
And I should have kept it to one side, and I didn't.
There are 2 cuts in there?
4, actually.
Oh, there were 4 different types of meat in there.
That's why I'm absolutely beside myself.
You know what? I've messed it up so badly, I don't even think Gary can tell.
We just need to put you on the straight and narrow, right? So we're getting you some more meat, all right, because you've mixed it all together and it's almost impossible to tell the difference between some of those cuts.
Get enough meat up there so you can just keep it flowing through, because then you don't scrunch it up.
With the burgers, I'm trying to get all the strands of meat...
That's it.
...in one sort of long length.
Michael's miles ahead of everyone else. His technique is perfect. The idea is to get these long strands of meat which get laid out and then rolled. And he's just nailing it.
Oh, Michael, that looks perfect, mate.
That's awesome.
Woo! That's it.
Well done.
The salt is the only thing binding the meat together today, so I'm chuck it in the fridge and let the salt do its work.
Heston's in the house today, and it's burger day. You've got 2.5 hours. Don't let this man down.
Oh, at least I know how to use this, Gary.
Right, that's good stuff. What I'm leaving you with now, this is Wagyu,
Yes.
right? This is your chuck.
Yes.
And this is your short rib.
Thank you.
Come on, baby.
Right.
I'm focused. I now only have 2.5 hours and this is all going to work. It has to work.
Cut the short rib, brisket, and Wagyu. That is the chuck.
All right. The meat mincer and Shannon aren't friends. She seems to be having a bit of trouble, but she's getting there. She's onto her 3rd and final mince.
Yeah, take it across.
Put it down.
Yeah.
I wish I had 5 hands.
I can't watch. What is Rachel doing? Is that first time through?
Just go slowly.
She's putting it through the 3 mil now.
Oh, well, that's better. She's getting...
She's on track. Rachel's really powering through the mincing, so she's starting to catch up.
So I'm going to put this in the blast chiller because I haven't got enough time now to put it in the fridge.
She's really only 1 step behind the others. I just really need everything to work right for me now.
I've had a bit of a disastrous start, but I need to get back on track. So I've now got 2 hours and 15 minutes to pull myself out of the manure and sort myself out.
OK, so she's a little bit behind now.
She's catching up pretty quickly, though.
I know. Oh, look, Shannon's up to the patty stage.
That'll do. Woohoo!
I'm kind of stoked. I kind of think I've found my place back. I think I can do it.
Bread, 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 bread.
He's going to enrich the dough.
I want to talk to Heston. Go and ask him when he eats on his
They've got
own.
a period with the dough where they're just going to leave it for 10 minutes.
I'm just finishing making my dough for my my buns, the brioche buns for my burgers. Having never made brioche before, I don't really know much about it, so I'm really going to stick to this recipe.
It has to be at 20 degrees.
Yeah, but it's probably 20 degrees in here, isn't it? 23 is close enough. Shall I check with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick question, it might be silly. My water's at 23 degrees instead of 20. Is that going to make a huge difference?
No, fine.
Thank you, sorry. Excellent, like that.
For this brioche mix, it's crucial that timing's right. You've got to mix it for a certain amount of time and then let it rest, and then you've got to mix it again. and then you've got to let it prove.
How long left on that dough?
The dough? It says another 4 minutes, so you got about a minute and a half left on the dough.
Right. Combine the cold ground meat with the diced chuck, the salt.
We have to use our own initiative to work out how much salt to bind the meat together.
I have no idea how much salt to add. I can taste it, and it's not overpowering, so I'm just going to assume that that's probably the right amount when it's cooked.
Come on, Rach, you've got to work faster.
Yep. No, I just wanted to taste that.
Craig, pull it out. Don't let it bunch in your hand. Just tease it out into long strands.
The whole point of putting the meat out on a long patty, that all the grains face the same way so that when you eat it, it's nice and juicy and comes away from the bun. Don't know whether mine's going to be quite that good.
Toast butchering it.
Do a new one. They've got to be long strands. Just do one more.
I decided to start the third mince all over again to get the right consistency.
I've put it through 3 times, I've made the thing, but as I'm rolling it, Heston comes over.
Just push on, you're nearly over your first couple of hurdles.
You're a very nice man, Heston, but I think you're slightly evil.
That's unbelievable. All the way. All the way from the UK.
You're a very nice man. You're very handsome.
Oh, now you're trying to chat him up.
Thank you.
Looking down at Rachel, it just looks like she's storming ahead and mincing that meat.
Yes! I'm so relieved. Now she's onto the dough, same as Shannon and Michael.
Craig's still stuck on trying to get the mince together.
I'm starting to get worried about Craig. His mince isn't coming out in the long, beautiful strands that Heston wanted. He's taking way too long. And Rachel's got her sausage in the fridge before him.
This is so frustrating. I just want to get this thing finished.
This would have to be the most difficult elimination challenge yet.
Gently, all stretched out. Yep. That's right, sweetie. And just build it up.
I'm really scared Craig's in trouble. It's an hour and 15 minutes into the challenge, and he's the last one to finish mincing his patty.
Guys, you're right in the thick of it. You're up to your ears in meat and brioche dough. But you've got to get those creative juices flowing right now. You've got 2 hours. So I'm halfway through doing my brioche, and now I'm onto my tomato ketchup. Get that into the pressure cooker pretty quickly, because then I can get a heap of flavour into it, and that umami that Heston was talking about.
So you got to bring it to the boil first and then put the lid on.
Having Hayden up on the balcony yelling out advice, it's very useful. He's probably my closest mate in the house.
Once the tomatoes come to the boil?
You got to. 1 sec. I've got about 8. Mate, I'm under the pump up here.
Sorry, mate.
So it just says pressure cook for 25 minutes, Michael, so...
Cool. Better, I'll keep it going medium slow.
The sauce takes 25 minutes and the chips have to cool. And chips? I'm really just can't think.
Do the chips, because they've got to be really cold.
I know that the chips have to be cooked 3 times, so I peel my potatoes and I just get into it.
You're getting back on track.
Is Heston coming up here?
Hey, guys.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Matt.
Nice to meet you.
Let's give them a couple more minutes.
With the chips, you get them onto a very, very slow boil. You don't want them to be bashed around in rapidly boiling water. When they're all cooked through and they're just starting to fall apart.
They're very soft.
Shut one up.
I don't throw very well. No.
Okay, how's that?
The smash test looks OK.
You get them out, put them in the fridge and rest them.
Righto, spuds are going in.
Yeah, spuds.
I feel like I'm in a science lab, honestly. Everything's so precise. It's just so not my style of cooking. I'm usually just like, yeah, that'll do.
I'm starting my chips. I'm not feeling confident at all, but at least I can see the humour in it.
God's sake.
Hey, Dos.
You mate?
Sorry, mate. Just talk me through. I got to roll in a bowl. Don't know, flour.
So you're meant to roll in a ball and then put the ring around it.
Yep.
And the important thing is getting your patties going to be the same size of those buns.
Yeah.
Lightly flour your hand.
Better check now.
Michael's, he's flying. He's got his tomatoes reducing and he's ready to cook his chips for the second time.
That's about right, is it? Just a little bubble?
You want to take them as far as possible without coloration.
Right. The next step is to recook them in quite low temperature oil, about 130 degrees, until they just turn colour.
That's 130?
Are we on Fahrenheit?
Really?
Oh, shit.
130 centigrade.
Oh, look at that. Slightly coloured. That's slightly coloured, in my opinion.
Does it have a little crust on them?
Yeah.
I think leave them a little longer, Mike. Concentrate on that cheese.
That'll do.
Hey, Shannon.
Hi, Heston.
Oh, that's a very chirpy hi. Excellent. How's it
I'm
going?
feeling a little guilty because I just weighed something out and went, oh, that'll do, and then I realised, oh, this is Heston's recipe, so I better do it right.
I feel really disrespectful. I feel like I should call him Mr. Blumenthal.
So your tomatoes in your pressure cooker?
Yes, that's nearly finished, actually. That'll be finished in about a minute. And I'm starting to weigh all my ingredients for the cheese as well, for the fondue.
Yes.
Making this cheese just seems a little bit excessive. I've got 2 beautiful cheeses going in there. I've got beautiful wine, a bit of sherry.
Is that the sherry?
It's been infused with garlic and thyme and mustard powder, and there's a pinch of clove. It's really kind of retro because it's essentially a fondue mix.
It's thick, it's stringy. That's it, it's done. Now,
Does it say to let it cool before you put it on the cling wrap?
Until stringy. Cool and stringy.
Oh, that looks nice. Great cheese. Rach, can you work on your cheese at the same time?
Yep, I can, I will.
Guys, you should be wrapping up your burgers.
God, son.
Finishing touches only now. 45 minutes to go.
Rach, you really got to get those tomatoes on to reduce.
Yeah, I know. I've got to get this in.
Okay.
Oh, lovely.
3 kilos of tomatoes.
Beautiful.
I've done that beautiful essence of tomato. I can't even put into words how it tastes.
It's so much better than tomato sauce.
Really, the guys should be thinking about wrapping this up in the next 15 minutes to, 15 minutes to half an hour, let's say.
Well,
they've got the creative drink to do.
I'm actually thinking that we're not going to see many drinks at this point.
That's going to be
I think burgers and fries, that's where we're at right now.
Maybe a fruit bowl.
OK, well, I'm just starting to finish everything off. I've reduced my tomatoes. I'm just going to get some water on to blanch the onions. Sliced up my pickles. I'm about to finish off my roll. There's about 35 minutes to go, and I get my brioche. They haven't risen a lot, but they've puffed up a bit, so I'm kind of hoping that's all right. In the oven for 5 minutes, splash of water. I quickly get them into the oven at 200 degrees, and I'm hoping I'll get them up big and puffy.
Sure this is what this stuff's meant to look like?
Yeah, your ketchup is not going to reduce in that time.
Tip some out.
I would. It's risky, but you're not going to have time.
When you're flustered, it's really hard to read a recipe and get it in your head.
What is this meant to look like?
I think that Rachel can get this dish onto the plate if she pushes hard right to the end.
Oh, no, well, actually, look, it's getting a bit syrupy.
Buns, mate, buns.
When I take my buns out the oven, it's pretty obvious that they're not perfect. And they haven't really risen. I think everything has been going really well for me now, but my breaking point from the start has been these buns.
Careful, mate. Michael's buns are a real flop. They're flat. They don't have the nice round golden top. You could say they look a bit like a pancake. They're no good.
My brioche hasn't risen. It's shocking. It's a disaster. Yeah, I don't have time to make any others, and I'm about to make a fool of myself in front of my idol, Heston Blumenthal. Yuck. With 30 minutes left, when I take my buns out the oven, they haven't really risen, but I don't have enough time to remake them, so I'm just going to go with what I've got. And I'm going to have to make sure everything else is great, and this nostalgic side dish I'm making has to be really, really good.
Guys, the pressure's on. Business end of the challenge, but how do you make a hamburger smile? Pickle it gently. You have 30 minutes to go.
I'm starting to make a milkshake. A ludicrously thick chocolate thick shake.
So you started your 3rd dish?
Yep. As soon as you said food memory, I knew exactly what I was going to do. The thickest thick shake that you can hardly get through the straw, and your eyes nearly pop out drinking it. So I'm going to attempt to make something like that, and then licking it off the straw and have it all dribble down your mouth.
Isn't this one of the most amazing things about food? Food has the ability to make us fully grown, serious adults, reduced to big kids.
Nice buns, they look good.
I've never had any complaints about my buns before.
I've got my buns in the oven and I need to make a shake.
I've got to make an anglaise for my drink and I'm just getting it going.
I want to make a really, really intense peach Melba shake with a peach sorbet and a raspberry coulis in it. So you've got all those sweet and tart flavours going on.
They're puffing up.
Good.
Okay, the next 10, I'm going to finish my burger. I'm going to give myself roughly 10 minutes to make my smoothie, so it's going to be a really tight one.
It says in the recipe it might take 8 to 10 minutes to get them to the proper colour, so...
That's all right.
That's just got to get up a little bit hotter. So I've got my cheese, I've got my meat.
At this stage, I am multitasking so much, I honestly don't know what I'm doing.
My bread, it's got 3 minutes to go. I've got to slice my tomato, lettuce. Oh, sugar.
I forgot about the cheese in the blast chiller. It was only meant to be in there for 2 minutes, and it's been in there for 17 minutes. Whilst I got the cheese, I took my eye off those tomatoes.
Oh.
Reduced. I think we've got what you call a smear happening in the bottom of this fry pan.
You know what? He said 1 part tomato.
Good thinking, 2 parts tomato sauce, that's right.
So I have 1 dessert spoon of reduction. So I add 2 dessert spoons of tomato ketchup, and that is all I have for the sauce. But I made the sauce.
When the chips are down, you need to give yourself a shake. Don't go test it, Heston. You got 15 minutes to go.
Chips, you need to put them in there for 8 to 10 minutes.
Cheese slice.
These last 15 minutes are crucial. The chips need 10 minutes for their final fry.
Shannon, just get them in there.
Rach, flip your burger.
The burger patty needs to be cooked, and it's got to be flipped every 20 seconds, so they've got no time to do anything else while they're cooking that.
How long do I do these for?
For about 2 minutes until a nice crust has formed.
They've then got to make a burger glaze out of rum and maple syrup.
We got fire, we got smoke. Oh, it's a real Heston laboratory.
Check your chips, and then you need to get those cheese slices out.
My cheese is too thick.
Grill the cheese, assemble the burger.
All right, I'm going to plate up.
And somehow find time to make a drink. It is multitasking gone mad.
Who would have thought a humble burger could cause so much trouble? You have under 10 minutes to go.
I'm going to make it pretty funky, like a light milkshake with some liquid nitrogen ice cream. It's an old favourite, and hopefully it works.
How long have you got?
What? 7 minutes.
Okay.
Flippy burgers.
Craig, cheese on your brioche.
Yep.
Oh, they look beautiful. They look good.
Drizzle a layer of oil into the pan, then add the patty. Another pan. Is it meant to do that?
I'm going to make ice cream pretty quickly. I chuck on my safety goggles, and I've got my cream and my sugar and my milk mixed in my bowl. So I chuck in some liquid nitrogen and just start whisking, and this amazing cloud of vapour starts coming up. God, it's fun. This is awesome.
Can I borrow your glasses for a second?
If this smoke was coming from a pot, I would be terrified, but because it's coming from this frozen bowl, it's amazing.
OK, guys, you've had some fun. You've got 5 minutes to go.
More green. It's got to be green.
Like the whole.
Oh, I like the green colour.
More green.
More green.
More green.
Just look on his face. He's got this slightly mad, psychotic grin on his face right now.
I think I'm going to finish this with seconds.
Oh, it might help if I had some meat.
I'm trying to balance everything here on top of the stove. I've got no space. The lid goes under the stove grill thing, and so I'm trying, it's hot, and I'm trying to move it, and it's really quite ugly.
is not a running competition. This is a cooking competition. You got 1 minute to go. Come on.
You're doing well.
There is 1 minute to go, and Rachel suddenly races away from the bench. She's got to try and do this milkshake.
Malt? Have we got malt?
What do you want? Malt? No, can't see malt. If I see it, I'll bring it down.
I had grand plans for this drink. It's not going to happen. I'm just going to mix drinking chocolate with some milk and make a nice chocolate syrup and just put some chocolate shavings on the top.
Come on, Rach. Final pull.
Get that burger up, come on.
All right, what goes on?
Here comes Michael.
I'm going to steal your idea, Heston, with the bubbling milkshake, but I think a green one should probably bubble.
I think I'm done. You have 10 seconds.
Mustard.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Holy cheese.
2, 1. That's it. Time's up.
I didn't think I was going to get anything up.
You know, I actually feel like I've run a marathon. I'm just completely and utterly done.
What's wrong?
Is that what it tastes like?
Hey.
Oh, Rachel, you poor thing.
It's okay, your milkshake was great.
I look at my plate and it's not perfect, but maybe if it tastes really good, I'll still get over the line.
Oh, Rach.
It was a massive challenge, a big day, but what was really lovely to see is every single one of them put up a dish.
Yeah.
In saying that, let's get the first dish in.
Although my brioche was a flop, and it's pretty obvious to see, I think my bubbling green lime milkshake might get me over the line. There's a lot of me and a lot of my life in that milkshake.
Where was the personal element in this drink?
When I was a kid, Dad would take me and my 3 brothers and sisters to the Dairyville milk bar, and I got lime milkshakes every time, and people thought it was a bit weird, and I absolutely loved them, and it's just such a special memory for me. My dad, who's my other hero, who is no longer with us, but that was sort of for him. 2 days ago was actually the 7th anniversary of him passing, so sorry.
I bet it would have been.
So I wanted to make that for him, sorry.
This is where food can be so powerful because of the memories, and that, as I said,
When I tried that,
he'd be pretty
he came running
happy.
back. You know, me and my matching flannel pyjamas.
Oh, fantastic.
Michael, thank you so much, mate. We're going to taste now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I suppose you asked for something personal. You can't get more personal than that.
Shall we taste this?
Yeah.
Oh, listen to the sound of those chips.
Yeah.
That's the sound of crispy.
Yeah, they look good, those.
Oh, yeah.
Love that sound.
I love them.
They're
I think he's done a
great.
fabulous job. I think they're really good. They're crispy, they're crunchy.
Yeah, great. Chips are great.
It'd be interesting in regard to the texture of the meat, because Michael minced this really well, laid it out on the cling film and rolled that sausage perfectly. So I'm keen to see what the burger tastes like. Look, I think the texture of that burger, the little patty inside, is excellent. Great flavour. It's almost on the verge of being too salty, but with all that sweetness and that cheese inside, it works really, really well.
But the bun is a major disappointment. We always talk, when we talk about burgers, it's all about the meat and the patty and it's the ketchup and it's the fillings. But if that bun isn't perfect, You lose the whole burger.
Right, let's try the milkshake. Heston?
Okay. It's playful. Yeah, I like it. I really do, but it's not quite what I expected.
See, I thought it was going to be very clean cut. If he said lime milkshake, that's what I'm expecting.
No, it's got a perfume to it.
He's put star anise in there, he's got lime in there. And, of course, the colour's playing.
Yeah.
Look, I love the way it bubbles like a lava lamp. I think that's fantastic.
I could down that very easily on a hot
me
plate.
too.
Fantastic stuff.
You want to be the person who's ordered that in the restaurant because you know everyone else at every other table is going to be going, I want one of them.
So I walk into the judges' room, I just feel sick. I just want to get it over and done with. I hope they like it.
Shannon, how does it feel putting food down in front of Heston?
I had so many problems. I didn't think I was going to get anything on the plate.
What was the inspiration for your creative drink?
I was inspired by peach melba. I love that combination of peaches and raspberries. Unfortunately, I really rushed that drink and I'm not happy with it at all.
Shannon, thank you so much. We're going to taste your dish now.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Well done. Oh, some crispy ones in there. These are the bits I like.
Yeah.
These bits here.
Oh, look at that.
Cheesy buns. It's going to go.
It smells good.
Wow, crispy.
They're very oily though. Look at how much oil's coming out of this one here.
I just find there's inconsistencies. There was one that I picked up and went crap, but then I ate that one and I'm disappointed.
They're definitely inconsistent.
Let's hope the burger is better.
There's a lot of dough.
There's a lot of dough, but there is another issue though, and it's more like a meatball than a patty. It needed to be flattened down. It needed to be a wider patty, so it went nearer to the edge of the bun.
What I love about it are all those sauces and all those condiments, the pickles and the lettuce. I think it's well balanced.
She's put a generous amount of lettuce and onion in there, which I think is a really nice foil to the richness for the meat and the cheese and the sauce. OK, shake.
I don't like it.
I didn't find it unpleasant. I just found it flat.
Yeah.
If creativity is the benchmark for this part of the challenge, I think she's missed the mark.
As I'm carrying my dish in, I realise something is not exactly right. I start looking at it going, wow, it's much bigger than his mouth. How is he going to get it in?
Looks quite large.
Is that actually one bun? Did you split that in half? It's two buns.
Should be sliced in half.
Duh, you're supposed to halve one bun. Why didn't I think of this myself?
Is that actually one bun? Did you split that in
buns.
half? It's two buns.
OK, Craig, well, thank you very much.
The worrying thing now is that even if all the elements of my plate are good, the fact that the whole thing was too big to eat might send me home.
I think one of the great things about a good burger is the patty should be as big as the buns. And I think if you bite into that, if you can reticulate your jaw, you'll end up with tomato, lettuce, cheese, brioche, and no meat.
Almost looks undercooked rather than overcooked. Without seeing inside.
Does it stay into 4 equal segments?
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it looks even more towering.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, an awful lot of brioche.
That's yours, Heston.
Thanks.
Right, shall we taste the burger?
Yes.
George is normally quite good at that.
The meat's fine. The meat's actually coming on really well. It's just, there's just so much dough there.
I love that acidity of the ketchup and of the gherkin.
Can I say, I really love the cheese. I think it's a good thickness.
Really good.
It's not too thick.
And great flavour.
And great flavour.
Great flavour.
Yeah.
I think he's just needed more frying on the final stage, just to crisp them up a bit more, get a bit darker.
A little more golden brown. But you know what? They taste all right. I like them. Still crispy. Right, let's taste this milkshake. Who's going first? You should. Our guest.
Here goes. Ready? Go for it.
Yeah! Yeah, your eyes are going to pop out.
I've got to do it. Yeah? That might take me 17 months to drink that. So, I'll have to have a sit down.
And that, exactly that thing you're talking about, the strain on the side of your jaws.
No, can't get it through. Well, the straw doesn't work, but I like that.
It's nice. It reminds me, certainly, of my childhood when you get this really thick shakes. You couldn't really drink with the straw. I actually think it tastes delicious.
Walking in to present this dish to the judges, I'm surprised that it looks as okay as it does, because in my mind I've made it out even worse.
I think you did an incredible job. You lost 45 minutes at the beginning, and you still managed to produce something. What is your shake?
It's actually a Milo. I wanted to have the rich malt at the bottom of the glass and on the top, the crunch. Because the best part of cold milk with Milo is all the crunch on the top.
OK, Rachel, thank you.
Thank you for your recipe, Heston. It was unbelievable.
See you later.
Milo milkshake? Oh, my. Heston, Milo here has this kind of great kid comes home from school, has some Milo, it's your surfer drink, taste of summer. So it's interesting whether you're going to get this.
Oh, look at those chips. Massive. Crunchy.
Oh, good structural integrity.
Very gooey, isn't it?
It's like architecture.
It's like a lasagna. Melting cheese, mince.
You know, for my money, this is the best bun of the lot. It's got a lovely open crumb. It's the right ratio of bun to meat, and I'm really impressed. I think she struggled, but to put a bun up like that is really impressive.
I agree.
The meat was dry.
Well and truly overcooked, isn't it?
She's not put enough salt in it, so it's gone sort of powdery.
Yeah. But the other ingredients are just sort of, they're wet.
I could do with more cooking in the final frying. It needs to have more colour.
So another couple of minutes in the hot oil, and they would have been absolutely smashing.
Obviously, I don't have the same Milo memories as you guys, but to me, I didn't have the hit that I was expecting.
Yeah. Do you know what I think she's done? I think she's used the chocolate gratings as the idea of creating a Milo milk, you know, with the crunchy top and all the rest of it, but I don't think there was Milo there, so, yeah, bit of a letdown. But it's a chocolate milkshake, it's okay. You guys wouldn't expect anything less from Heston, but he set you a massive task today. Craig, the standouts in your dish were deliciously thick milk chocolate shake, great cheese flavour, but in proportion, way too much bun. Rachel, best bun of the day. But the actual patty itself was dry and overcooked. Shannon, we loved the generosity of your burger bun filling, and the meat fell apart deliciously, but that shake, bland and flavourless. Michael, the texture of that beef burger, the meat patty itself, was excellent. And the playfulness, that whimsical shake that you did, was inspiring. But the bun was a letdown. It was the failure on the dish.
One of the four of you could be Australia's next MasterChef. But for one of you, that dream is about to end. Michael? You're still in the competition.
Well, thank you.
You brought fun, energy, passion, everything that cooking and eating should be about into that challenge. And I'm very proud of you. Congratulations.
I had a blast.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I had a little tear in my eye, but on top of that, the food was delicious.
The only person smiling bigger than me right now would be Dad, so it was just the most perfect day for me. So thank you. Sorry.
Craig, Shannon, Rachel, it comes down to you three, and it comes down to the dish you cooked today. Craig, Shannon, Rachel, it comes down to you three. Shannon, Craig, you're safe. Rachel, I'm sorry, you're out.
That's all right.
I actually feel a little bit like it's not real. I knew it was going to happen, but I still don't want it to happen.
Rachel, I'm so sorry, darling. I think, you know, you had a tough day in the kitchen today. What have you learned from your time in MasterChef?
So much. I have learned so much.
Rock and roll time! Get through!
I've had the most incredible experience of my life. The last week, I met Nigella.
I'll have the recipe, please.
Oh, lovely to meet you. It's lovely to meet you too. You're just beautiful.
So are you.
Which to me was just unbelievable. And then I went to Malaysia and I met Rick Stein and Chef One and Tetsuya and Elena Arzak and Heston. I have formed an incredible friendship with some people that I will have for the rest of my life. And then in the kitchen, I've cooked with food I didn't even know existed.
To see what happened in the first 45 minutes, I reckon I would have crumbled with that. The fact that you actually got all the dishes up there, I think, was nothing short of miraculous. And to do it with a sense of humour and a smile, for me, it was just incredible to see.
Can I stay then?
At least it's Rachel right to the end. Rock on.
Battle till the end.
Yeah, battle to the end.
Is there a message you want to leave for Kate before you go?
I've already written her a letter. It wasn't a surprise, guys. Look, I have really not done very well today, and so I knew. There you go.
Rachel, we're going to miss you immensely. But unfortunately, now it's time to leave. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. See you guys.
Thank you.
Walking out of those big doors for the last time, you know, I'm a bit sort of sad, but I'm happy. I'm going to see my husband and my kids. God, it was just unbelievable. It was just the people I've met, the things I've done. Rachel, I did it. Amazing.
I think, you know, even though a lot of it was rushed and really quick at the end, it tastes good, and that could get you over the line today. We're sitting in the lounge and we can hear footsteps walking down the stairs, and we know the guys have come home.
So often in the past, I've had in my mind who I think is coming home, and I've been wrong.
People come in. Oh, legs.
I am worried for Rachel, but you never know.
Yes, Michael, you've done it. You've got it all.
It was nice to see a look of relief on Hayden's face. He gave me a lot of support today. I only hope I can give him that much back in some stage. I think I'm more than back in the competition now. I've got some seriously good inspiration the last couple of days, and I'm hoping there'll be a new, fresher outlook on the way I cook from now on, and you might see a bit of a new me. Kate, I've got a present for you from Rachel. She's got a little letter for you. So she said to enjoy it and give you a big hug.
I'm really going to miss Rach. We've been through the ups and the downs together, but I know that this won't be the end of it.
Dear Kate, I guess if you're reading this, I'm on my way back to WA. Gee, I went out in style though. Not too shameful to go home after meeting Heston. I wish so much we could have been having this chat together, as I want to tell you how much your friendship has made me feel.
Rachel has become a really close friend. I will miss her a lot, but I feel really proud of her.
Okay. I think every woman who is a mum makes sacrifices, but it's what I love. I love my kids, I love my husband, I love my home, and it's not very often that your family comes out in such a way and shows you how appreciative they are of everything that you do.
Cheers from my lovely sister Rachel.
And it's just meant so much to me. I think the biggest lesson I've learned is that you have no idea what you're capable of.
Tomorrow night on MasterChef Australia.
Kate, you're cooking for one of these, an immunity pin.
But she's going to have to work for it when she battles the king of desserts.
I'm here to win. Make no mistake about that.
Darren Purchase.
You expect me to cook that?
How many elements are in this one dessert? I think there's 13 recipes in total.
With an immunity pin in her sights, can Kate take down an undisputed master?
If you can reproduce this dessert, I will get down on my knees